Now, Uncle, for people who don't know you and aren't familiar with Trinidad Carnival, can you just touch on the different presentations and band portrayals you've had over the years? And then we'll get into how you implemented training programs and learning programs with each band.
But, portrayals is based on what perception in terms of you like the idea,
A creative theme.
create a creative theme, and you go after it, and then you do your research mentally and physically. You do your research and you find out more about it, and you get the intricate details, and then you begin to produce it. So that happens as the different years go by.
What was your first portrayal as a band leader and designer?
That's a good question, and I should remember that.
So many.
But,
What was your first band? Let's touch on that.
My first band was Savage. A band called Savage.
Savage changed the game.
Yeah.
Boom.
Savage, that was our portrait.
Mhm.
And well, I can't remember what happened after Savage. There's so many other portrayals.
Well, it was Savage. I remember because Savage was
Savage, I think
my little experience as a 14-year-old playing Marcy for the first time. It was Savage Deep.
Savage Deep, yes.
Then it was Brasilia.
But all right, you're doing better than me.
Yeah. I was in everyone. You know how much beads and feathers I stick. It was Savage. It was Savage Deep. It was Brasilia. It was East of Sumatra.
All sorts of different.
It was Jewels of the Nile. That's when I played Queen.
Yeah, and then I had Barbarossa.
It was Barbarossa. And then all the other bands spun off from your band. Right. So let's touch on that. Let's more focus on the ability you had to not only grow the band every year, but to help others get into the business and grow and learn and train and then start their own business as well. How does that work? How did that work?
Well, you see, the thing is this, that in those days, what you learn by being part of the experience. So people who loved Carnival, as I did when I first got involved, come to you, but not all of them were skilled in different aspects of the producing of costume. So they learn from you, and you teach them, and they develop their own skills, and that is how we all became individuals with our what we call unique type of artistic expressions. And that went on for many years, and that's how we began to learn. And then there was a time when I was trying to, through the association and through government, that we should have a school for the arts in Carnival, where we could train people, rather than it be the total responsibility of the band leader, But people taught themselves by being around people with the wire skills, as what we call bending wire, wire skills. And they learn
Wire bender.
bending skill. And some people learn to sew from being involved in Carnival. You learn to decorate by using your own artistic influence and likes and dislikes. So that developed you as an individual. It's a lot of things we could go into, but it's too much to go into at this point.
Of course, yeah. But so how would you describe then the ability for Carnival to train, to be a training ground to educate youth in the creative arts? Because I would recall year after year, you would just bring kids in, you would bring youth in from different organizations off the street.
It is the ideal platform for training young people to be worthy and to be positive and producing something that a lot of people love and something they can be proud of what they have done.
It'd be therapy for them too, huh?
That's correct. So that is why I say it creates opportunities and it teaches you a skill which has a value. So you could learn, you don't necessarily have to be a band leader. You could offer your skill and to different bands. You could produce costumes for them, rather than we sending to foreign countries to produce it for us.
Which is what's happening now.
That's another story. But the thing is that
you're so diplomatic, Uncle. I love you.
This is where we have to do that here now, and keep our culture in Trinidad and Tobago. We should be producing costumes for all these bands and all these countries throughout the Caribbean and whoever else wants us to do it.
How many persons average could you recall employing, say, average from year to year in terms of Staff, yeah, in terms of production staff.
My band.
Yep, just your band alone.
About 40 people.
And how many
Different
bands
levels.
would you say average would exist a year?
Well, when I was president of the association, it was we had about 125 to 150 bands.
So
Mostly in
average,
San Fernando.
so around 3,000 people could be employed, give or take, throughout the entire mass making process.
Yeah, or more.
Or more, and that was just back then. That was like you were talking 2 decades ago.
Because there were lots of little groups.
Correct.
That do because they had small, medium, and large.
And then you also had Kiddies Carnival.
And they had Kiddies Carnival.
And then you had all the other competitive
That is
aspects.
absolutely.
So we're talking of thousands of people.
Jerusalem.
No, the plane here at the wedding.
You asked me.
Could we talk about the wedding after this?
No,
Oh, Auntie Gail's on the phone.
You asked how much I love you.
Aw. DJ. I love you very much. So that's one aspect, of course, which is self-explanatory: training, education in arts, therapy for our youth that may not have other options and opportunities. Let's talk about the events, because that was also a major aspect of portraying not only your theme and your band and promoting your band, but it was also a big revenue generator for us as well, doing carnival events around the band. What type of support and interaction do you think our community benefited from? Yeah, band launching, cooler fairs, weekly events, promotional stuff. What value do you think that adds to community development, or could add to community development?
Entertainment, and we all benefit from it. Employment for the bands, the music bands, DJs,
the artists.
People come, the people who provide food and beverage, security, all those are employment opportunities. People come, and then not only that, you create enjoyment in an atmosphere that you feel comfortable and safe in.
But that's a whole other business.
That's a whole
other industry.
A whole industry by itself.
By itself, apart from the core of mass making. So, with all of that said, and again, we just kind of summarize to make certain key points. How do you think that we could utilize 2021, which is sort of a pause in carnival history for us, a pause in time? How do you think we could utilize 2021 to create a new vision and to reimagine Trinidad and Tobago Carnival moving forward? To be more. Auntie, we're doing a video. We're doing a video. Okay? Yeah. Auntie Penny with the updates. I'll ask that again. How do you think we can use 2021 to reimagine and re-envision a more sustainable, progressive Trinidad and Tobago Carnival that we could truly benefit from and that our youth could benefit from?
Well, the first step we have to sit down and talk with the organizers of Carnival. That's the first thing. And then we also have to have discussions with the band leaders to find out what exactly their concerns are, and collectively between the government organizations and the band leaders, that will be our first step.
Yeah.
To try and come up with a format that everybody will be comfortable with. You know, so
and that everyone could benefit from.
Yes, obviously, but that's the reason for getting together in the first place.
Well, because a lot of people feel that Carnival has become a sort of a selfish industry over the past few years.
It's not managed properly. So you see it's going in one direction, when in reality it has to go in the direction for the people. That's what I mean. It's for the people. The people would like to come and see Carnival, see the bands, on parade of the bands, not necessarily going to sit down in the grandstand, but they would like to go on Arpita Avenue and see the bands going up there. They would like to see coming down Tragedy Road. They would like to see going down to all the different parts of that is compatible and could accommodate the bands. Because you can't go up any street because the streets are very narrow. So the two streets I call are fairly wide. And you need to have it in an order going anti-clockwise in one direction, not one band coming up and the other band going down and sticking in the center and all that sort of thing.
Have you ever been approached by any of the current leaders or institutions or organizations, government or private, to consult or to offer some of this wisdom and knowledge and the myriad of ideas and proposals you have?
Well, let's put it this
for
way.
Carnival?
I did try my work, but I think the only way I could put it, we weren't quite ready for that. They see it as someone trying to control Carnival. They're not looking at tomorrow. So tomorrow came and we were not ready. That's why I say we don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
Right now, we are not in a good position because our culture is gone, or it's going, and we're not there with it. Our culture is being produced in other parts of the world. I understand that China produces more masks than Trinidad and Tobago, you know, except for the one or two traditional masks. So that's what I'm saying. We need to get hold of it again and restart reproducing it. That will give people an opportunity to use their imagination and their creativity
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
producing, and stop trying to look like somebody else. Let us come up with our own concepts and ideas.
Oh.
You know,
You have ideas. You still have.
Because one thing this country don't lack is talent.
Yep.
We have talent all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about that part.
We need
I
more
think
self-love.
We need to harness it,
Yeah.
and bring it together,
Yeah.
and bring the people, because they say our strength is in our diversity. When you look at us as a people, you see that is where you see how nice we are as a people. Trinidadians.
If there was someone or entities abroad that would be interested in investing into creative arts programs and stuff through Carnival, what would be the one caveat or the one takeaway you would want them to have when thinking about a project like this?
Well, we're talking carnival, so it will have to be carnival activities, carnival producing, carnival bands, and the music, of course, which is part of our culture.
So the best vehicle to sort of launch that new movement would definitely be music.
Yes, and they talk about the benefits, because don't forget, in the smaller islands, they tend to benefit a little more than us, because they have foreigners and visitors to the islands from the other islands, and also from foreign islands.
And music is something that can travel anywhere, anytime.
Music
Yeah.
is universal.
Right.
So, you know, so that's how it's done.
So music could be the plug, the connector.
Yes,
And then
yes.
from there, all the ideas and creativities
Music
could
is
spin.
the international language.
Thank you, Uncle.
You're welcome.
I love you. You know, I'm going to pick your brain some more.
All right, so let me take a rest.
Cheers, yeah.
We'll work tomorrow, okay?
We'll toast on it, of course.
So you close off today.
It now start, people. All glory to God.